because you should be making more videos. You should be making more videos for YouTube. You shouldn't be like pausing for a long time. Like, you shouldn't be doing that. Have you ever noticed that we're constantly being told what we should and we shouldn't do? How we should and shouldn't manifest? What we should and shouldn't say? How we should say it? How we shouldn't do it? How we should just let go? How we should just detach? How we should just say this and say that and do this? And notice how it always brings up a lot of resistance and feeling frustrated and anxious and guilt and shame and obligation. And then what happens? You're moving from a place of should, of guilt, shame. You're not motivated anymore by what you love. You're motivated by some should. And have you ever asked yourself, where did you learn these shoulds to begin with? I've gone through all of these things myself. And a lot of you know that I don't follow shoulds. In fact, the more that I become aware who I am, the more that I release the shoulds. There's some wonderful teachers, whether it's your coach or a teacher at school or your family, your parents, whoever it is, people in the world, books that you've read, and they're going to offer some wonderful advice and suggestions. But I want to tell you that if you are following someone else's shoulds, and this could be on purpose or not, you just pick them up and you assume that that is how it is. That's how you should be doing things, how you should feel. A lot of times when I'm working with people in the past, they have told me that they have been taught that they have to use certain words like, I am wealthy, I am with my person. But what if that's not true? What if you never had to talk like that? Also, another thing that I used to struggle with a lot too was trying to get myself to feel something that I had no experience feeling, or feel something and it felt forced. I could stir it up, but I couldn't hold it. And I would try again to hold it. And then the advice that you would hear is persist. Just keep doing it. It'll get easier. Instead of it getting easier, have you ever noticed it feels harder? And you feel more frustrated. And then you begin to check for your circumstances to see if they've changed, to see if it's working. And then you judge yourself because nothing changed. There's so many shoulds, and they're almost secret. They're almost like so subtle that we miss them. And then you'll listen to those and you'll turn around and then you'll judge your circumstances. You'll judge your life. What if that should, or that way of thinking, what if that's the only thing that is holding you back from having your desire. Why do I say this? Because shoulds don't belong to you. They don't belong to you. Most of the shoulds that you are running by are like, they're perceptions, and they're programmed perceptions. You have been programmed to perceive things a certain way. And I don't have time to make a list of all of them because we'd be here forever. But most people are programmed to perceive things a certain way, and that includes in the manifesting community. One of the best things that I did was stop watching videos, stop reading books, stop listening to gurus and people. For all that, right? I shouldn't be driving a car. I should be flying around in a private jet, right? If I'm so powerful I can have it all. I should be showing you I'm dripping with diamonds, shouldn't I? I should. These are the kind of things that you get stuck in your head. And a lot of people think that they're judging another, measuring it up, seeing, let me see if this is work or if this is BS. This is feel-good talk. I read the comments, right? Like, oh yeah, this is too good to be true. This is like, a more BS talk. And I get that frustration. I get it. Feeling frustrated because you feel like things should have changed by now. You know so much. You know too much, you might think even, right? That you've been studying so much, and you understand so much about different teachers and the law, or laws, because there's so many, when really there's only one law, one power, one source. But even that, what I just said, that one power, one source, has been taught with shoulds. That if you haven't been manifesting what you want immediately, instantly, then you're doing something wrong. And here's what you should be doing. Here's do this instead. Do that instead. What if you were doing it right all along, and then you started listening to other people telling you that you're not doing it right, but your frustration, your fear, your anxiety of not seeing it in what you think it should have been already in your reality is what got you seeking answers and looking for someone to help you. You started judging your circumstances. Think about it. Eckhart Tolle talks about this quite often, the power of now. It's the eternal, ever-present. There is no other moment. There's not infinite moments. There's only one eternal moment that we look at from different angles. We look at from different perspectives. But what if your perspectives have been programmed into thinking that things should look a certain way? And so you stand there in almost like stubbornness, or AKA the word persistence. You need to persist more. That's why it's not there. What if all you had to do was walk away from what you think things should look like? What if you're in this moment, in this ever-present moment, and say, maybe all I should be doing is relaxing? Instead of trying so hard to make everything turn around and look a different way, what if everything is exactly the way it should be? And your insistence and persistence that you don't want it to look like that. You don't want things to be this way. But what if all of that silence, or what seems to be not working, has always been perfectly unfolding for you? But because you think things should be looking a certain way is the only reason you can't see it. So that should that you're holding on to for whatever it is may very well be the only thing standing in your way, because you think something should look different, that it should have taken longer. And I get it. For a lot of you might say, but Rose, it's been days, weeks, months, years even. That's still part of it. And until you let that should go, when you let go of all the should, you soften, you align with love. If you think about the scripture in the Bible that says love is patient, love is kind, it's not boastful, It's not arrogant or conceited. If you think about that, what they're talking about, love, it's not a romantic love from Valentine's Day. It's not talking about that kind of love. It's talking about love that is source, that is God, that is that infinite intelligence. That's all the same thing. So if love, God's source, is kind, patient, not arrogant, boastful, it's not harsh, it's not controlling, and it's not fragile. Don't think for a second you can mess with it. But if you think that they're describing God, source, that energy within you, within us all, how can you align to that love more? Patient is not about waiting. It's about observing. You already know everything is exactly how it's supposed to be. But your beliefs, your shoulds, the ones that you receive from others, or the ones that you keep telling yourself, those are the only things that you drop. And you go back to, I'm going to allow myself to align to love. Well, what is love like? What is God like? What is infinite intelligence like? It's gentle and kind. How can I soften myself? How can I soften this anxiousness of a deadline, of needing things to happen now, of the frustration and sadness that it hasn't happened yet? How can I soften that? What would love say to that? How would love look at those very fears, doubts, deadlines? That's what you want to turn to. And you want to let go of the shoulds, because all those shoulds are wrapped with beliefs that do not serve you. Things shouldn't be a certain way. You're mad and you're frustrated and you're looking at your reality saying it should be different. But who said so? I know that you'll look back and say but it's painful, and you feel like you've lost time or years. Or you might even fear that the time and space that it's taken, that you might have missed your chance or missed your opportunity. But shoulds steal from you. Love only, it constantly fills you up. Love restores. Consciousness restores. Nothing was ever lost. Nothing is ever too late. It is only your perception of what you should look like in the mirror, what the scale should say, what your bank account should look like, because you know so much, because you understand these things, that you should be saying, pay attention to how many shoulds are in your life. If you are the creator, one and only creator of your reality, there are no shoulds at all. Everything is exactly how it should be always, right now. So right now you can close your eyes and tell yourself, anytime I hear myself shoulding myself or shoulding someone else, I'm going to pause and take a step back and ask myself, what do I want? What would feel good? Whatever it is, you're feeling good about your decision, you making up your own rules, you deciding how you want to say things, you deciding how everything is, why everything looks the way it is, why it's taken X amount of time. You deciding is the only thing that matters. So everybody can bark rules and tell you this is how it is. And I've studied for 500 years and worked with every guru and have 200,000 clients that have successfully done what I've told them to do. And you too can do it, or you can be without. Even if you hear all that, still, that voice within you, that love within you, is patient and kind and waiting for you to drop all your shoulds. Thank you for watching. I love you, and I'll see you soon. Bye.